Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ha, Rakak Wadash Mama. Double honors to the apostles, Great Millstone, and the elders. Double honors to my elder as well, Aharawan, Banyasha Olive, and Lion Day Camp in Jacksonville, Florida. Salutations to the fellow Akim, our wife and the children that believe the truth and the sincere. It's your brother, I thank you. I'll look back to you with another lesson, and Yahweh Ratazah is edifying. And I just want to go in on this individual, all right, Peter Porker, as far as the whole pork doctrine that he's pushing, that he's teaching men so about, all right, when the Lord had told us and instructed us through the law of Moses to not eat of the swine, all right, and the reasons behind it, all right. And this guy basically doubled down on his wickedness, all right, boasting about it. I want to just get a couple of scriptures on how Ratazah is edifying.
We got GMS, we got Sakari, True Nation, all of you Pharisee camps, all right, because that's what you are. You're Pharisees, all right. And you're highly upset.
No, our elder did a Yapah lesson, all right, rebuking this demon, all right, or the demon that's on this individual, all right, pretty much how this you can't get all the you're gonna hear what he say soon, but you can't there's no way you can get the swine clean enough, all right. It's not nothing to consume or eat, all right, just as well as him trying to present himself to be KD or King David, all right. King David would never eat pork, all right, or do these abominable things,
because I had,
as well as it shows his knowledge of the scriptures, all right, which is real few, because what the scribes and Pharisees, all of them went wicked, all right. You had righteous scribes and you had righteous Pharisees. As the scribes were the ones who more so wrote things down. So, but you had what wicked scribes and Pharisees as well that were among them, that what made pacts, that made deal with the ancient Roman Empire, just like you got today with the modern day Roman Empire, all right, America, to where you have these wayward camps like this guy here, all right, as he has a following for whatever reason or how he got some following. He has a good amount of people following him with a perverse spirit, with a perverse doctrine, all right, which shows you that the Lord doesn't deal in big numbers, man. He deals in few, all right. He doesn't need he don't need attention, so to speak, all right. So again, the scribes and Pharisees, not all of them was wicked. All right, so it just shows his knowledge of the scriptures, where he's the very example of the wicked scribes and Pharisees. All right, changing the doctrine, adding and taking away from the scriptures, man.
some ham soaked in Coca-Cola. You know, it takes all the salt out. That's why I do that. Y'all got people believing.
And he's just going on and on. He's going to double down on it. All right. But really, I want to get into some scriptures. One of the first scriptures I want to get into is the book of 1 Samuel. All right. Because we don't have to hear that dude too much longer. All right. You can go look and check him out for yourself and get a little laugh in. All right. Pertaining to the blasphemy. But this is 1 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 23. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. The stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Right, so he's full of iniquity and idolatry. All right, witchcraft. He's a warlock, so to speak, man. Just pretty much going against the grain, kicking up against the pricks on what the Lord set in stone, pertaining to his laws, statutes, and commandments. And then when men, all right, showing love towards them and rebuking them, all right, as the scriptures tell us to rebuke them sharply so they can be sound in the faith. All right, he's neglecting that rebuke. He's doubling down on his wickedness. All right, our elder pointed out how he got his following, his group of guys in his house, all right, standing certain ways and standing by the door, being I don't know what, a guardsman, things like that stand out for me. It'd be like masonry, all right. You have like a Templar guarding the door with the sword, things like that, all right. And that's where these wayward individuals that haven't emptied out their old bottle, all right, and fill their new bottle with new wine. All right, they're trying to mix the two. All right, they're trying to hold on to their worldly knowledge and their worldly status, maybe being a mason, a police officer, a cop, whatever the case may be, and bring it into the truth. All right, where it don't mix. All right, water and oil don't mix, man. All right, wickedness and righteousness don't mix. All right, again, that's the scriptures say, man. Y'all have to be single towards Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, you have to put off the old man completely to start and to build up this new man. All right. So what? It's rebellion. It's a sin of witchcraft, man. So he's being rebellious. He's being a witch because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. He hath also rejected thee from being king. Right. So how could you be King David, man? Or KD? All right. The Lord's going to reject you from being king. All right. Because you're rejecting the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. You know, his law, statutes, commandments. All right. From here, I want to get the law itself in the book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 7. Bear with me. And this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 7. And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you, right? He is unclean to you. And it was a video that this guy was saying that I couldn't really find. All right, maybe he took it down. All right, but I couldn't find it. But he was basically going into how all meats are clean. All right, again, doubling down on his wickedness. All right, and declaring that all meat's clean. You can eat whatever you want. You can eat a cat or a dog. I wouldn't, but you can eat it. All right, just total blasphemy, man. A total lie against the truth. A total lie against the scripture. All right, and you can even see the verse above. It talks about the hare, the rabbit, and what you should not eat. All right, and down here in the South, you have these country foes that eat all these type of animals because they can catch it. If they can catch it, they feel like they can eat it. All right, but that's not what the Lord instructed you to do. All right, he gave you a strict guideline. All right, even to where your dietary laws, man, on what to consume and what not to consume. All right, and if you whether you hear or forbear, man, you forbear it, you go die. You go get gout. You go get high blood pressure. All right, you go get these things. All right, if you continue to consume it. All right, you go have heart failure. You go have clogged arteries. So forth, man. All these chemical imbalance and these things that our people get from consuming these abominable foods, man. All right. Verse 8, of their flesh shall ye not eat. Right. You should not eat of these abominable animals, these abominable carcasses of what the Lord instructed us not to eat. And their carcasses shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. Right. So you shouldn't even touch it when it's deceased, when it's dead, when it don't have life anymore. All right. You go into that term carcasses. All right. That's pretty much what it's going into. All right. The corpse. Nebelah, carcass, corpse, right? A dead thing, all right, in its dead state. And Jake want to consume it. When the Lord told you don't even eat it look at it when it's healthy, man. Examine it and examine the process of how it lived, how it cleaned, all right, over there in the land of Mizraim, all right, quote unquote Africa, all right, Ham, all right, they actually used the pig on top of minefields and big hills of trash ultimately. And you can go back a month later, a month or two later, and know it's gonna be ground zero because the pig is gonna consume that. And it doesn't break it down. It doesn't regurgitate itself as a law state. And this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14, and verse 7. Nevertheless, these ye shall not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide cloven hoof, as the camel and the hare and the coney, for they chew the cud but divide not the hoof. Right there, they don't divide the hoof. All right. Therefore, they are unclean to you. Here's the point of verse 8. And the swine, because it divideth the hoof yet cheweth not the cud, right? So it's divided the hoof. It don't have webbed feet, but it don't cheweth the cud. It is unclean unto you. You shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcasses, man. Meaning it doesn't regurgitate itself. It doesn't have a digestive system which cleanse of its waste. The pig pretty much traps everything inside itself. Let alone it doesn't have the glands to sweat it out either. All right, that's why the catfish is also unclean, as it's a fish that has no scales and fins. All right, so we ought to start at the basics of things, which is the law, before we get into the deep, man. All right, the milk of things is for the babes. All right, until we start meddling strong meats. All right, the strong breakdowns, and that's why you have individuals like this that call themselves leaders or self-proclaimed King Davids, and they fail. All right, they ultimately mislead a lot of people, and they put bloodshed upon their hands because they didn't start at the basics. All right, they figured they was old enough to jump the gun and go straight into the deep. All right. But again, with that Christian mindset, that deep will swallow you up dealing with this truth. All right. They don't mix. From there, I want to go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, and verse 15. All things have I seen in the days of my vanity. There is a just man that perisheth in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man that prolongeth his life in his wickedness, right? Like this individual was scoffing on the video that I couldn't find, all right, where he was doubling down some more on how all meats is clean and all, so on and so forth. He pretty much was like, I ain't dead yet, pretty much provoking the Lord, tempting the Lord, man. When the Lord can put him to death at any moment, man, especially in the spirit that he's in. All right, being haughty, being wicked, all right, casting the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah behind them, all right, eating the abominable things. Verse 16, be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself, man? Why should thou destroy thyself? Again, start at the basics. All right, but again, a gray-haired and aged fellow don't mean you're wise. All right, as the scriptures say. All right, that's a worldly term or saying. All right, you ultimately got to be humble as a little child and deny yourself for the Lord to be dealing with you, to entreat you with His wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. Got to be meek and lowly, of a contrite spirit, of a contrite heart, right? For you to be built up in His truth and His knowledge, man. So you can't have a boastful spirit. Oh, I ain't dead yet. There's no fear there. There's no fear of the Lord, man. All right. This is Ezekiel chapter 2 and verse 6. And thou, son of man, be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words, though briars and thorns be with thee. And thou dost dwell among scorpions, right? Even our 2/3 of our people, they like scorpions, man. They clapping back, doubling down on their wickedness when you tell them the truth. All right, they don't want the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. All right, as the scriptures say, what they hate me, what roughly paraphrasing, they hate because I tell you the truth. All right, and that's what they do. That's what this individual did, and he's claiming to be in the truth. All right, so it's like this is agent provocateur work. This is pretty much leading people astray. All right, you tell them the truth, they hate it, but oh well, fuck they looks and how you look. And not just to go on a smear campaign, all right, but he looked like he has a form of a problem, all right, you know, Peter Porker, all right, whether it's the abominable foods he eat, he has some type of illness or sickness, all right, but again, he doesn't even, you can't even see his neck, his head rests on his shoulders, his chin is in his bosom, all right, it shows what he's probably unhealthy. When he talks, you hear him breathe partially. All right, you might have sleep apnea, things like that, man. Whatever the case may be, all right, you can tell like it's a look that comes with this wickedness, so to speak. All right, me and the brother was at the job, and we were speaking on how Joe Biden, how he looks. He looks like he has dementia. He looks like he's slow or remedial. He's in that state of mind, and that look kind of is on that other guy in the UK, Prince Charles. All right, that's that look in their eyes. And start with the eyes, as the scriptures say, man. The eyes is the window to the soul, so you can see, wickedness on some individuals through a spiritual lens, so to speak, of how he just don't got it all. He's sick, twofold. All right, whether it's like the Down syndrome look or the mental look. I want to say that word on here because that might be, But even Ammon and Moab are two nations of the children of Lot. They portray those traits as well, man. That's why they look like insects or Down syndrome, so to speak. But from there, just to get off that topic, Salaki, and get mainly back to the point, this is Psalms 50. In verse 16. But unto the wicked, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Right. And it's ultimately speaking on Esau and the wicked. All right. But 2/3 of our people as well fit that bill. What? He can't get right. All right. You can't get right, even after being rebuked. All right. Because what? He is of his father, the devil. And this is the book of John, chapter 8 and verse 44. All right, with that being said, and this is the book of John, chapter 8 and verse 44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. Right. All right, so that's why 2/3 of our people are not abiding. Cling on to the God of this world, the devil, Esau, spiritual demon Satan. All right, and his physical counterparts, Esau, Edom, the so-called Caucasian race. All right, to where they want to eat those things that they brought here during your slavery, during your captivity. All right, and you didn't even eat the good part of it. All right, they gave you the chitterlings and shit like that. All right, so where you had to clean the residue of the thing. All right, to consume. And our people still in that dead state of mind today. All right, thinking it's okay, and he's teaching it. He's teaching man so. This is John chapter 15 and verse 25. This is in transit. All right, so Salakia, hopefully I'm being heard and my mic's still on. But it's John chapter 15 and verse 25. But this cometh to pass that the word might be fulfilled that is written in their law. They hated me without a cause, right? And that's their law, like it's belonging.